So today I'm gonna react and break down a little bit a deleted scene from Reservoir Dogs because I stumbled upon an interview of Quentin Tarantino. He was talking about directing, and he was saying how he had trouble directing said actor or actress. I will break down which traps we can fall into as actors. I'm gonna dive a little bit into that scene, and I'm gonna watch it for the first time right now and comment on that, and we're gonna try to learn from that. And this is absolutely not a diss on that actress, because I know as an actor myself, acting coach and director, that many things can feel like they're preventing you from doing your best work, and this is not an easy job. So here we go. So yeah, this is a raw version of the scene. Never has been finished. So yeah, she's eating at the same time, so that's something that Brad Pitt does quite often, famously. It helps ground you. So, okay, the shot is lasting quite a lot of time, and okay. Yeah, I can see first. I'll say one problem: the eating choice is smart. They're all eating, and it helps always. What I can see that's problematic is feels like her eating gets in the way of the performance. It doesn't feed the performance. You know, sometimes she takes time to chew, to swallow, and we can tell it's not right on track. Feels off in terms of rhythm. And yeah, it feels a little stagey. Yeah, that's the. She just said, "Now picture this," and you can tell that she doesn't picture this. Or even that when she yells surprise, it feels. We often hear forced. I don't think you always force in a way when you're acting, because this is, you pretend to not know what you're about to say when you know everything. So forced, yeah, it's not natural anyway. But to me, what that means, forced, is it's not lived. It doesn't come through what she is experiencing as an actress at the moment of the scene. So it's a bit, it's surface level. And yeah, she has to carry the whole scene. She's the one talking a lot. She gives the information to the guys. She's the propeller of that scene. So she's got lots of responsibility, lots of things to carry as an actress. And the other guys, they're both on the same side. They can build a rapport together. They're on the same side of the table. They can build a rapport way easier. So yeah, that scene, yes, the acting is not there. It's a low surface level, and so what makes good actors do that? It happens to most of us. It happened to me before. When you're shooting, it's rolling, and you feel like you can't really experience it, really reach that level. It stays on the surface, and it can come from not being able to relax. You feel tension. Maybe she was a day player. When you come on set for just one day and the crew has been like shooting for 2 weeks, you really feel like you're the underdog, you're an outsider. And if the crew is not welcoming you, especially the other actors and the director, because they're tired, they're busy, it's not always because they don't care about you, but they have lots of things on their minds, and they have a shorthand between each other. It will make you work harder to get rid of the tension, and there are tricks to do that you can do yourself, and you can very small exercises that you can do you or with the other actors, but it very well could be that. Also, what is something that is a problem is if you made the mistake of learning out loud your lines. And she's got lots of lines here. She's got lots of things to say. So she probably spent a little more time on her script than both of the guys in front of her, of course. And when you just have 10 lines here and there, it's easy to, and you're experienced, it's easy to get into the groove of the thing, and you know what to say when you say it, and you read it a few times, and there you go. It's still fresh. You know it just enough, not too much, and you can play around with lots of things. But when you have lots of text, you learn. If you learn it out loud, your ear and your brain will latch onto the way you are saying the words, because that's a strategy to. It's an ineffective strategy, but I think it's to make sure that you know what you're doing and you latch onto things way too early. So that's why I say to people, never learn out loud if you can, because this is not easy. And if you really feel like you have to say the words, unless you feel that it just clicks, because sometimes it just clicks, you really deeply feel the words. But when it's not the case, try to say them. For example, me, I speak 2 languages, French, English. I could learn a few lines with in an American movie with a French accent when my character's like Canadian, for example, but not French Canadian, so he would never have a French accent in real life, and I will speak like this. I will yes, I'm learning my lines because I'm a good actor and I'm very serious about this, and even though maybe yes, life is shit, but Paris is beautiful, so fuck it. And it will help me. I will have fun with that. It makes you have fun with it, and you don't latch onto a way of saying your lines, which is very dangerous, because once you have done that before shooting, you come on set, and it's super hard for yourself to step away from the thing that made a home in your brain and in your ear. And it's hard for the director too, and it's hard for you, and it's even worse when you feel like you're going on the wrong path here, but you can't for the life of you get back on track. So that's a simple advice, very important thing. And also the thing that's tricky with that kind of scene is there's no emotional stakes for the character that is very easily identifiable. It's not a scene where she's like pouring her heart out to a loved one, or because the emotion, just even if you have trouble finding it, just tap into the emotion, find an emotion, maybe even the wrong one, but that will get you back on track to really be here and to live something in front of the camera. But in that scene, she's explaining, yeah, this guy did that, this guy did this, and you know what? It turns out that this a-hole is the guy who did this. So, okay, she has way more work to do to find her emotional way through that. Maybe so that's something that she could have done to get out of the funk she very probably was in. I think she must have had, it must have been painful for the actress to, you feel that you can't deliver the thing, and you normally can, but something is not working, and the director cannot find a way to reach you, and he's probably looking for that too. That's rough to experience as an actor. But yeah, she could have looked for emotional pathways through this whole thing. Maybe the thing that I always say to people, you can think of where you were right before entering the scene, and where you as a character, and where you as a character want to be thanks to what you're doing and saying in the scene, or just want it to be but end up being here in the scene there. She's there, they're all eating in the scene. You can find some things that are very, very dramatic and just underplay them in front of the camera, and that will help you have this a little more juge into it. You will be more into it. For example, one thing is, okay, they're in a diner, they're eating hamburgers. Yeah, she could have just, for example, her character might, let's say that she could have said that to herself, that her character, to her, it's just a Tuesday. She's showing up, she's giving her a whole thing on that case and these guys, and she's quite happy because, oh yeah, we have lots of things on these guys, for example, now, so that's good. It's a good thing to be saying that to her colleagues, and she's hungry, so okay, let's just go there and eat and be done with that. But on her way in, she walks on a sidewalk, and there's a graveyard, and she witnesses the funeral, and she sees a coffin. She's just a glimpse, people dressed in black, people crying, and she sees a coffin being lowered down into the ground, and she notices that the coffin is like this long. So it was a child. It was like an infant. She just sees that, and next block she's at the diner, and she's supposed to, and it's not just another Tuesday anymore. It can be stuff like that. Find something that resonates with you personally, you, actor, actress, or that could evoke something to the character. She's a cop, seeing death is something she sees every day. So why a child? Well, you don't see an infant being their funeral all the time, and it can shock you even if you know death, and it can even reinforce her world weariness, stuff like that. Find your emotional way through expositional dialogue like that, to just embody it, to be here with the other actors, or in rehearsal, ask them, or the director, ask someone if you can do it like very outlandish, very differently, but if everyone is game to do that just once, just to cleanse your palate in a way. And also, maybe this kind of things can come from the director, because this is not dialogue that acts itself. Sometimes you get a piece of dialogue, and stakes are so powerful, clear, everything just flows out of you, and you feel like there's only one way of doing this. But that kind of expository scene, it's very different. There's tons of way of doing this. And the director was a first-time director. Turns out it's a second-time director. He had made a feature before, but unreleased at the time, and maybe still unreleased. And when you're a director, it's hard to. It's a lot to be able to gently get actors to do what they should be doing. But that's for another video, because this video is already quite a bit long. So yeah, a few tips and tricks. If you're an actor, if you're a writer, if you're a director, and you want to work on your craft, you want actionable tips, you want to feel like you have something in the tank that is not out yet, that you cannot really master or deliver, I can help you. And you can reach me. I'll put some links in the description and everything. And because what I always say is, we need people's voices. We need artists. We need people who got something to say. And I can facilitate that. And I gladly will, in exchange of some money that we will talk about, of course. So yeah, hopefully it was a little useful to you, and you keep believing in yourselves, you tell your truth, and see you next time.